Hello, my name is John Costas, and I'm a commissioner for Chevalier Theatre. What you'll be seeing in this documentary is the progress of Chevalier Theatre, including a brief history of Medford High School and the condition of Chevalier Theatre in 1981. We call this documentary a work in progress. You'll also see video clips of the Mystic Players production of Showboat. Showboat reopened Chevalier Theatre in 1992 after 10 years of being closed. This documentary will continue on with photos and comments from a variety of people involved with the project over the years. This will also include restoration photos. You'll also see video clips of noted politicians at the ceremony awarding the Chevalier Commission a $2 million state grant. Now please sit back and enjoy a work in progress. Chevalier Theatre was the last addition to Medford High School in 1939. This black and white photo was taken around the turn of the century, and it shows the original high school without any additions. This color photo is a picture of the high school shortly before the final addition was built. This addition included Chevalier Theatre. This view shows the location of Chevalier Theatre and why we were able to isolate and save the theatre. After the theatre was saved, the rest of the high school was sold to a developer for apartment condos. Over the years, Chevalier Theatre was used for many student activities, including plays, pep rallies, concerts, commencements, and, as these photos show, graduation ceremonies. Chevalier was also used for special guests and artists, such as Livingston Taylor, Lou Rawls, Frank Sinatra, and John F. Kennedy. It was dedicated to a Medford High athlete, Godfrey Chevalier, in 1940. It is the goal of the Chevalier Commission to restore Chevalier to its former glory. Chevalier Theatre was built in 1939 by the WPA as part of the Medford High School complex. It was designed by M.A. Dyer, a noted architect. The exterior of the building is a Greek Revival style and is decorated with columns and the clean lines that are the characteristics of this architectural period. But the interior of the theater is an elliptical Art Deco remnant of the work of Frank Lloyd Wright. Now, a little bit of history about Godfrey. He graduated from the Naval Academy and was assigned as a midshipman to the USS New Hampshire. On October 1st, 1910, Godfrey risked his life to save 20 men from drowning when a sudden storm overturned the barge they were in. By 1917, he was considered one of the most experienced pilots in the Navy. On October 22nd, 1922, Godfrey made naval history. He successfully landed the first plane on a moving ship. This was an historic moment and paved the way for future development in naval aviation. Then tragedy struck. Less than a month after his historic landing, Godfrey was flying maneuvers near Norfolk, Virginia, when his plane crashed. He died 2 days later in the hospital at the age of 33. In 1965, disaster hit Medford High School. The oldest part of the building, that was built in 1896, had a massive fire that destroyed most of it. However, Since Chevalier was at the end of the complex and built from concrete and steel, the fire did not damage the theater. After the fire, the school department made temporary repairs to the old high school until the new high school opened in 1970. Between 1970 and 1980, the old high school was used for offices until 1981, when the entire complex was shut down and sold to a developer. However, Chevalier Theater was not part of the sale. Unfortunately, this once grand building was ignored and abandoned. With lack of maintenance, the exterior building deteriorated and many of the windows were broken, weeds grew, and the place began to look derelict. In 1982, the Chevalier Commission requested and received their first state grant of $250,000.
Our first grant was to restore all of the utilities in this building. And among those, of course, was the new electric service, which was brought in underground power and air conditioning.
The grant money was also used to install a 10,000-gallon fuel tank, heating controls, sprinkler system, air compressor for the heating system, an emergency generator, a new water service, and a new heating plant.
This is the original fire alarm panel. It was completely rebuilt, brought up to date with a few new modules added for fan controls for the heating and ventilating system and the dimmer bypass.
In 1986, the Chevalier Commission applied and received a state grant for $2 million.
And the other half of that dynamic duo is Angelo Murata, and I'd like to...
Thank you, Senator Albano. And once again, I have to thank the Governor, Governor Dukakis, for coming to the aid of the city of Medford. It's been fantastic.
In this community, and one person especially who this has been a dream for quite some time, and who was very persistent in her attempts to secure these funds and worked very diligently and probably called my office every day for the past year. I'd like to introduce her for a few remarks, Jerry Grandy.
Oh. Governor Dukakis, Senator Albano, Representative Marauder, McGlynn, Mayor Perica, members of the City Council, City Manager John Galoni, and friends of Chevalier. In 1980, a group of concerned citizens banded together to save Chevalier Auditorium from being sold to a private developer and turned into an apartment building. Heeding the voices of the people, the City Council voted to save Chevalier and requested the City Manager to establish a Civic Auditorium Commission. In August of 1981, a 5-member commission was sworn in. The work had begun. The Medford Civic Auditorium Commission, with the assistance of the Office of Community Development, applied for funding from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts under Chapter 486 of the Acts of 1980, a financial assistance program which is used to help cities and towns to rehabilitate or build civic auditoriums. In December of 1982, the City of Medford received $295,000 to begin the work of restoring the building. In 1984, the Commission submitted a second proposal to continue the work. In 1985, we were informed that there was no funds remaining. We appealed to local and state legislators to assist us. And it was through the tremendous work and effort of Senator Albano, Representative Marauder, Representative McGlynn, the Executive Office of Financial Planning, the Commissioners Richard Ober, Mary Forty, Joseph Forty, and Anthony P. Mondello, Ellen Martin of the Medford Office of OCD, the Mystic Players, the Medford Arts Council, and the willingness of Governor Dukakis to support and encourage this type of effort.
A letter from Maryland to you which reads as follows. I'm pleased to inform you that the City of Medford's request for $2 million of Civic Center Auditorium grant funds for the, do you pronounce it Chevalier? Chevalier Auditorium has been approved. Senator Albano was of great assistance to me in explaining the worthiness of the Chevalier project and its importance to the City of Medford. It is my belief that the auditorium's rehabilitation will result in a first-class facility for the performing arts. Congratulations and best wishes. Signed, Frank Keith, Secretary of Administration.
How do I feel about the $2 million grant? I feel great. The grant is a dream come true to a lot of people. All the commissioners and many, many people in Medford.
You know, this paper given to me by Governor Dukakis at the ceremonies held on the steps of Chevalier signifies a partnership composed of Governor Dukakis, Senator Albano, our representatives, members of the City Council, and so many, many people who have worked so hard to get us this far. So this is $2 million. I don't think I've ever held $2 million in my hand before.
Many times what I felt about Chevalier and the money that we are looking for, and feeling is that I fell in love with Chevalier about 5 years ago. Walked in at the place and said, this place has got to be saved.
And I can remember back in the late 40s, a rally when the Vice President of the United States, Alvin Barkley, was present at a rally at Chevalier Auditorium sponsored by the city's Democratic Committee. I can also remember John Kennedy being present at a political function at Chevalier Auditorium, and the late Robert Kennedy as well.
How do I feel about this $2 million? What can I say? Applause. Planned it very well. It was the day before Christmas when I got a knock on the door, and it was Jack McGlynn waving this letter frantically in my face and saying, we got it, we got it, we got it. And of course, that was the best Christmas gift I think the Commission has got that year.
Auditorium being restored. I think it's great. I think it's probably one of the biggest drawing cards at Medford Square.
The old auditorium in Medford has reached a turning point tonight with a grant from the state worth $2 million. The Chevalier Auditorium, built in the 40s, has been slated for developers, but instead it will be completely renovated. Local performing groups like the Mystic Players are happy with the rebirth of the old building.
It proves that you can beat City Hall.
And there are hopes that not only will it mean a revitalized cultural center, but it will also give new life to the commercial downtown Medford area. The auditorium, with 2,000 seats, is the 6th largest in the Boston area.
After completing the necessary work to obtain an occupancy permit, the theater opened after 10 years with the Mystic Players production of Showboat.
We have John Costas here. He's also involved in the show and in getting Chevalier renovated. Yes. This has been a pet project of yours for what, 10 years or so?
At least 10 years.
At least 10, right.
Seems like an eternity.
Yeah,
it's been a while. And a lot of people a lot of people's efforts really went in to make it the way it was today. And we owe a lot to the volunteers, the many, many volunteers that have done so much to make this possible with cleaning, painting.
Parking, what can we expect from that? Maybe a new garage?
Well, from what I understand, they're talking about building a new parking garage in a couple of places, which will be a great asset to the city.
You ever conceive of maybe even the Chevalier attracting some big name stars like a Tom Jones or a
Oh, without question.
Tony Bennett or something like that?
They go now to North Shore.
Right.
And they go down to South Shore, so there's no reason why they can't stop between the two.
Oh,
and if they sell out on North Shore, they sell out on South Shore, you know, 1,800 or 2,000 seats in Chevalier would be very simple.
Well, Joe, I wish you luck in the production. I mean, this is not only, it's going to be a great show, but people are going to get to see the renovated Chevalier Auditorium. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about how they can get tickets, when the show is?
A short time after receiving the grant, the state froze the funds. With the help of Mayor McGlynn and Senator Shannon, the state released the funds in 1993. Over the years, the Commission sought contributions, and in 1996 received a tremendous musical gift. The Horowitz family learned about the restoration work at the theater and donated a Myron Colton theater pipe organ. They also donated a Chickering reproducing grand piano along with approximately 400 music rolls. A short time later, a 9-ring Wurlitzer theater pipe organ was donated to the theater by the Pine Tree chapter of the American Theater Organ Society. This organ will be restored and installed by the Chevalier Theater Organ Society. Now, sit back and enjoy a work in progress. Chevalier Theater is available for rental for theatrical groups, concerts, lectures, or special events. It is an ongoing restoration, and we welcome any and all support. We'd like to thank you for watching this documentary and hope to see you at the theater. Thank you.